So I'm going to tell you a little story. Once upon a time, I had a child who had hearing loss, and we had cochlear implant surgery. 2 years later, I had another child who also had hearing loss, and we went through cochlear implant surgery and the whole process over again. So I am very familiar with cochlear implant surgery day and everything that entails. And when my husband and I went through the cochlear implant surgery with our boys, they were both only 11 months old. And unfortunately, there was really no way to explain to a baby what cochlear implant surgery was going to be like. And as a mom, I found that to be really difficult emotionally to not be able to explain it to my deaf babies why they were going to be in pain, why they were being taken back to surgery, why they were going to wake up feeling weird and groggy, and what was going on that day. But it is what it is. They were babies. There's really nothing that we could do about it. And best case scenario, my husband, I remember those days, but my children will have no recollection of that day. So to the parents who are going through cochlear implant surgery right now or getting ready to with your babies, I completely understand what you're going through. I know exactly how you feel because I was there, just, honestly, like 5 years ago, right in your shoes where you are. So since my boy's surgery, I have talked to many parents of older kids who receive cochlear implants for the first time. And the number one question that parents always ask is how to explain cochlear implant surgery to their child. So their child who's going through it, but is a little bit older. And while this wasn't my specific personal experience with my own children, I have gleaned a lot of insight and understanding from talking with parents who had been there with their older kids as well. So this podcast episode is a compilation of all of the answers that I've gotten from those parents who have gone before and who went through the surgery with a little bit older kids. And I'm going to talk about three things in this podcast episode that you can think about, three things that you can do that will help your child process cochlear implant surgery day. What? So the first thing that I would suggest to any parent going through cochlear implant surgery with their older child is to first, I would validate their feelings about the surgery day while at the same time reassuring your child that, most likely everything is going to be okay. So going under surgery can be scary. It's actually really scary for adults and anxiety, inducing for adults. So you can imagine what maybe like a child would feel like going through that. So the first thing that I think is helpful to do is to validate that your child's feelings about the surgery are real. And honestly, just validating for someone that they do feel a certain way and that it's okay to feel that way goes a long way in helping them through a thing. Most people and kids just want to know that someone understands them. So for a younger child, this could go something like, a younger child wants to know that you're going to be in charge, that the adult is in charge, and that there's someone, you know, taking charge and kind of telling them and walking them through the day. So, I would talk to a younger child, I'm talking like toddler age up through like lower elementary school, that I would, just say, hey, I understand that you're maybe scared about surgery day or you're nervous about surgery day. And I'm just here to tell you that it's okay, that the doctors and nurses are going to be there. They're going to keep you safe. Mommy and daddy are going to be there when you wake up. I know it feels weird, but everything's going to be okay. Something like that. I'm doing this off the cuff of my head, but something like that, that just kind of validates, that your child is kind of going through a thing, but also reassures them that the doctors and nurses are there to help them. And also mommy and daddy are here to help them too. If you have an older child, come alongside them. Have a longer conversation about how your child feels about the day. Ask, what are they nervous about? If they're nervous about anything, what do they have questions about for the surgery day? Talk more about why they're going through surgery day. So those older kids, you can really kind of come alongside them and explain things a little bit more in depth to them. Um, but yeah, just validating the feelings goes a long way in just helping the process along, to be honest. So the second thing that I would do to kind of help your child prepare for cochlear implant surgery day would be to go through like a step by step of how the day is going to go. So kids feel reassured when they know what's going to happen in a day. And when kids don't know a schedule or are unsure about how their day is going to go, their anxiety can actually increase. So you want to ease your child's fears by explaining to them how the day will go, but in an age appropriate way. So for a younger child, you can actually kind of draw out the steps visually. I'm really big, if you've listened to the podcast, on visuals for children with hearing loss, especially younger children. So you can kind of draw out the steps of like how the day is going to go so that they understand it visually and then explain each step and like what's going to happen during each step in the day. Walk them through like what's going to happen when they first step into the hospital all the way up until like they come out of surgery, and then what's going to happen after surgery, just so they know how the whole day is going to go. There's no surprises to them. And they understand what steps are coming up. Make it factual for them. Give them the information so it's not so scary for them, right? The unknown is really scary for kids. So just make it known and just walk them through those steps in a really visual and easy to understand way for the younger kids. For the older kids, like I said, come alongside them again and just have conversations with them. Explain, what they can expect during the day. You can still explain the steps and kind of what's going to happen on that day. And most importantly, talk to especially older kids about what they can expect when they wake up from the surgery. Okay, so one thing to remember is generally after cochlear implant surgery, you can't hear out of that ear. Um, you know, surgery is getting better these days, but I think for the most part, hearing is not retained or only very little bit, if at all. So your child may be surprised if they can hear a little bit already that they're going to come out of surgery and not be able to hear out of, that ear. That's going to freak them out. So just go ahead and prepare them to say they may not hear for, a few weeks out of that ear or that side until they get their cochlear implant activated. And then talk to them about, come up with a plan of like how you're going to communicate if they can't hear out of that ear. Like come up with a system of communication. Are you going to write stuff on a piece of paper with a pen, like back and forth to each other? So they can understand if they can't hear you. Are you going to learn some signs? If so, like you need to go ahead and do that now before the surgery. Are you going to put like captions on the TV so when they're resting at home, they can like read and still watch like their favorite movies and TV shows? Like come up with a system of communication for your older kid so that they can still communicate with you in the meantime when they can't hear before their implants are activated. And the third thing that I would say is get your child excited about the possibility of hearing or of hearing better. Get them excited for this new stage of life. This is an exciting thing because surgery day can be a little bit rough by nature, right? And your child, I think it would help them to have a bigger picture reason of why we're going through all of this, and it's to hear all of the beautiful sounds in the world. So talk to them about that. Talk to them about all the things they're going to be able to hear once they get their cochlear implant activated. The Mighty Mila books are so great to read. I just recently had Katie, the author of the Mighty Mila books, on my podcast. And I was reading the book to one of my boys the other day, and there are times in the book when Mila talks about like all the things she can do and all the things that she can hear. And so that's really fun to get them excited about like the possibilities of their cochlears. Also go to like Etsy and pick out some like cool stickers or cool skins to like decorate their cochlears if they want to, if that's the thing that your child would like. And also gather up their favorite movie or treat, um, TV shows for post-surgery so that they can have a little bit of a treat and a little bit of pampering while they are recovering from surgery, because that's hard. So you want to be treated a little bit after you've just been through kind of a major surgery and you're not feeling well. And that's for the younger kids. So for once again the older kids, talk to them about the benefits that they will get from getting the cochlear implants. Imagine with them what it would be like to maybe hear their friends better or hear in the activities that they like to do better. And also, if they're old enough or if you're willing to, on your phone, connect them with accounts like Mama Who Hears and Emily Segura, who are both cochlear implant wearers as adults and are very positive about their cochlear implants and very open about talking about what it's like living with cochlear implants as an adult, which your older child might relate to a little bit more. And it could be really cool to kind of connect your older child with adults who have the cochlear implants so they can kind of um, see what it's like living with the implants day to day. So those are my top 3 things that I would do if I was trying to prepare a little bit older child who's not a baby, prepare them for the big day that is cochlear implant surgery day. And it is a big day. Surgery day is a big day. And it's normal to feel nervous about what's going to happen. And keeping your kids in the dark about it is only going to add to their anxiety levels. But coming at the day with age appropriate conversations about what to expect will go a long way to ease their fears about the day. And I just want to say congratulations. This is a really big step for your family, and I would love to celebrate with you. Come into our Facebook group, Raising Deaf Kids, facebook.com/Raising Deaf Kids, and let us know that you got the surgery and come, you know, let us celebrate with you and let us help you along this next step in your hearing loss journey. I would love to just be with you and just celebrate the surgery day for you. So that's facebook.com/group/raising deaf kids. I hope this episode gave you some really great tactical ideas of how to talk to your child about cochlear implant surgery without completely like freaking them out or giving them more anxiety. And I know also as parents, we want the absolute best for our kids. And unfortunately, kids, and especially kids with hearing loss, do not come with a handbook. So I just want you to know that by simply being here, you are doing a great job because you are learning and trying to learn more for your child. So I am so proud of you, and I am so glad that you are here today. And I will see you on Thursday, where I'm going to spill the tea on my favorite sensory activities for kids with hearing loss. All right, I'll see you on Thursday.